Do you have any weed socks?
Probably. But have you seen any?
Well, I saw this girl wearing them. That girl.
Wendy, Topher, lots of love, live show, music, movies, guest and awesome tunes. It's a show for me and you. It's the one you love to listen to, with words to help improve your life. Oh, helping folks, it's what they do. Oh, laughter's medicine too.
Live from downtown Fayetteville at FPTV, it's the Wendy Love Ed Show with Kitty Baldwin.
Hello. Yeah, it's so nice. Topher couldn't be here today, so I'm here today. I just had a show at Backspace. It was the last on the spot. Tune in somewhere, and it'll be online, I hope. I don't know. A lot's happened this week. A lot of sad stuff. I kind of don't want to talk about that. I don't know. The only, dumb thing that happened was that they... in some publicity thing, they killed off Mr. Peanut for some reason. I don't know why. And then they immediately regretted it, oh, sorry, this took a turn that we didn't expect. I don't know, not funny. Anyway, I'm going to talk to Adrian real quick. So I have, what's the word? Not coerced, corrupted. That's the word I'm talking about. So I've corrupted Adrian to watch RuPaul's Drag Race with me. It comes out February 28th, I believe. But the Meet the Queens came out, and so I wanted to see who Adrian thought was going to win. So I asked him to pick me his top 3 girls that are going to make it to the end. So Adrian,
Yes.
what do you think of
Kitty.
the girls, and who are your picks?
Well, I watched all of them, and I had to watch the intro thing. What was it called? The intro thing where they told
Where
us
they were
all?
walking down,
Yeah,
and
they
it was
did the catwalking
apocalyptic.
thing.
Yeah.
God, I hated most of them.
Okay.
On the catwalk. I mean, there was a couple that I thought were fabulous and amazing and very...
Was it just weird outfits, or what was it? What was
I'm attracted to the feminine ones.
Okay, got
Not the
it.
ones that are so,
Not like the campy, costumey.
Well, see, sort of. And so, anyway, so I was watching today, and I was doing the interviews with all the contestants. And
Okay.
so my number 1 pick
Okay.
is Nikki from Paris.
Nikki from Paris.
Yeah, she's from Paris, France. And you couldn't believe that I would like her.
I think that's one of my picks too, because she has that floppy hat.
The red hat that bends over her head.
Yes,
And the
okay,
reason
yeah.
I love
I feel
her
like she's
is
gonna go
because
far.
I thought she was super, super duper authentic. I mean, honestly, when she was being interviewed, I felt like she was herself. I didn't think that she was putting on any kind of airs or being way too, I don't know, just too in the scene, so to speak.
What if you find out her accent's fake? Because I bet it's fake.
I still think she's sexy.
Okay.
Okay, so, and if her
2.
accent's fake, I don't know, I might have to vote for my dark horse, who we'll talk about in a little while.
Okay, so you have a dark horse. Okay, who's number 2 though?
Number 2, and I know this is surprising,
Okay.
but I loved Sherry Pie.
Really?
Yeah, I liked her big girl, kind of clownish, very theatrical presentation. She was super nice. She was not authentic at all, but she had lots of pizzazz.
Because she's putting it on.
Oh yeah, and she did put it on. And it was, I liked that about her. I liked the pizzazz and the energy she brought, and I can see a lot of positive things coming with her. And then lastly, you're not going to believe this one.
Who is
my
it?
third pick.
If
and
it's
all
my
three-
pick, I'm going to be upset.
If all 3 of these girls make it to the final, I'm like my son. If he loses the Super Bowl, he's going to cut all his hair off. But I'm not going to cut all my hair off.
That's already done.
Right.
So.
But this, I like Jan, the girl next door.
Ugh. I
Oh
not
my
like
God,
her.
no, she was horrible on the
did
on the
not like
catwalk.
her at all.
Oh, she was
She was so
horrible
annoying.
on the catwalk thing. But
And horrible in the interview.
no, she looked like, dude.
It's not what they look like. It's
if
how
I
they
would have met
sound.
her in public,
You
I would have
just-
thought she was a girl.
You just talked about the Paris girl, Nikki, being like authentic. Jan was so scatterbrained all over the place.
That's why I think she's going to make it.
Ugh, no.
Okay,
I
who are
hope she goes
yours?
home
Who are
first.
yours?
Mine are Nikki. Heidi in the closet is like my top one because I root for anybody with a gap. So
I didn't like the gap. It turned me off immediately. And
she's a sweet country girl with a gap. I
and
love that.
Heidi in the closet, come on.
Yes.
Because all of her boys back home were always trying to, whatever.
Exactly. It's a perfect origin story, I think.
Okay, and
Who else was it?
I think it's a good pick.
Was it? Oh no, it was. Oh shoot. It's a pun name, and I can't remember. It starts with an S.
Wasn't Sherry Pie?
No. It was the one with like the really big makeup.
The one that looked like a superhero?
No, kind of like an anime.
Yeah, that lady that looked like a superhero.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, what was her
forget-
name? I had her name
forget the
written down. Oh, I took all my notes out of my pocket. I have
that's
my
a-
Rue Pink note here.
Rude Pink Note?
No, Rue Pink.
Oh, Rue Pink Note.
Yeah, here, look, Rue Pink.
Oh, Rue Pink. Okay. I thought that's what you were saying. I was like, why Rue Pink? But I guess RuPaul. Oh,
RuPaul's
Rue
drag.
Pink. Oh, ha ha.
You know, from a straight guy to, trying to be gay.
No, I love that. So am I done, Wendy?
No.
show.
You got to talk about my dark horse.
Oh, sorry. Who's
My
the
dark horse is Britta.
Oh, that was one of my picks. Also, was Britta. So her name was Britta Filter, but they made her change it. 'Cause it was fake. Yeah. Oh, and do you know Jan's full name? It was Jan Sport, but they
she
made
can't
her
use that.
change it.
She can't use that, no.
I know.
But what I liked about Britta was she was super funny,
Okay.
and I liked her full figure.
Nice.
I mean, that's for me.
I'm sensing a theme here, Adrian.
Well, there was 2 full figures in my choices, yes, but 2 skinny girls too.
Okay. So if Adrian can sleep with you, you're gonna win. So that's great.
Hey, can you arrange that?
No. Okay. If you haven't figured it out already, you are tuned in to the Wendy Love Ed Show with Topher Kogan. But this week is with Kitty Baldwin. And on today's show, our guests are Mary Williams, Kyndal Saverse, Angela Edge with Kendra Kirklin, and Stevie Petet. And now I'm gonna go talk to Wendy.
Well, Kitty, it's nice to see you.
Yes, fancy seeing you here, Wendy.
I love it. So today, everybody on the show is female, and you
Yes.
thought you'd join us as well.
Yeah, I thought I would just drag it up, I still have the makeup on from Sunday, so I was like, what? What is it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 4-day streak of not showering. Just keep it right along.
I thought I smelled something.
Oh, that's just kidding.
That's just Kitty. Oh my goodness. Well, it's been a pretty good week. So we have with us, usually it's just Topher and I in this segment, but we have Angela Edge here and Kendra Kirklin and Stevie Petet. Thanks for joining us. So we usually talk about lifestyle stuff in this segment. So I thought I'd ask you,
What have y'all been eating?
what have y'all been eating? Yeah, that's a good question.
Only kale.
Only kale. That can get really old. I know. I've had some changes to my diet, which are challenging because Angela and I eat completely differently. So cooking at home has gotten even more difficult.
I made zucchini boats the other day.
You did, and
No pasta,
and we both could
boats?
eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
What'd you put in the zucchini bowl?
Oh, what was it? Well, the filler is zucchini and onion and some cheese, but you can make it vegan too.
Yeah.
Garlic.
Garlic.
else?
There was some other vegetables.
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower. Yeah, it was really delicious.
was
And
pretty good.
yeah, you weren't there, I don't
But
think.
then last
when
night,
they
I
came
think
out.
I had a whole plate of just heaped with pasta.
Now, I saw that,
I was like, is this big enough Topher?
and I was like, well, this is typical Angela.
I love the zucchini boats on Facebook the other day.
Yeah,
I
we
saw that.
we had to. It doesn't happen
You have
unless
to
it's on
share your dinner
Facebook. Yeah.
Otherwise, you haven't eaten. if you
But
don't
thanks
share.
for attempting to have something we can both eat. It worked out beautifully.
Every once in a while.
If I eat a big thing of pasta like that, I will be asleep, and my sugar will be like 500, and yeah, so I can't do it. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. So what do you usually? What is your diet like, Stevie? You.
Ramen.
Oh, ramen. So the noodles
School still,
yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah, so-
But isn't that challenging when you're in school to have healthy food?
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Because I'll wake up and I'll be like, well, gotta get to class. No,
Right.
no food for me this morning.
Right.
So,
Well, plus I noticed my youngest son is in college right now, and he just came to visit us, and he was telling me what they serve in the cafeteria, or I don't know if you call it a cafeteria, in the dining hall. And it was all like fast food.
yeah.
The selections,
Yeah.
we were talking about what he could choose just that might be a little more healthy, but everything he described was pretty much fast food. So that really is awful,
All I can do is take the bun off.
Yeah, take the bun off, right?
He's not going to do that.
No, it doesn't encourage him to listen to me at all. So, but I think it's true. It's true in schools. It's true in nursing homes. Any institutionalized kind of place. It seems like they have a hard time keeping healthy stuff in there.
Even in hospitals.
In hospitals, right?
You're like, here's some Jell-O.
Right, with sugar, and yeah, I mean it's really something we all should think
Can you
about
eat
more.
yogurt in hospitals? Because that's kind of like my staple breakfast item is yogurt.
I've never seen yogurt in a
We'll
hospital.
sneak it in for you.
If you're ever in there, we'll make sure we bring you yogurt.
Hopefully
I don't think it's usually a selection.
When I
in the
think of
hospital.
like
Better
a
Jell-O.
hospital tray, I think of like that little piece of turkey,
A
Jell-O,
processed turkey, right?
Yes.
Yes.
the roll, and either like chocolate pudding or like green Jell-O.
Yeah.
Never any yogurt.
I know.
You know, I found recently that I actually love no sugar Jell-O.
What
Oh.
does that taste like? Is
Well,
it
when
just
I was
taste
a kid,
like?
it tasted horrible.
But now if you're
now
used
that
to not
I
eating
kinda
sugar.
quit sugar,
Taste buds change. It's for the texture now.
It tastes great. It doesn't, and real sugar Jell-O, I'm so turned off from it.
Interesting. Yeah, unfortunately, you're right about the food at the hospital. Angela and I have a friend who went to China to have stem cells done, as it's not legal here, and she was describing her hospital experience, and I thought, oh my goodness, why don't they do that here? So the nurse, there's a little kitchenette in every room. Everyone has a private room in your own little kitchen, and the nurse sits with you and writes down everything that you enjoy eating and goes over it with you, and then goes shopping for you and cooks it.
Wow.
While you're in the
would be
hospital.
nice.
Yeah. And when she was feeling a little better, she went with the nurse to choose like the fish that she likes fish, so she would choose it. But imagine if they did that here. I mean, food is so essential to health. We're going to talk with Mary Williams in the health segment about something else today, but she has said to me many times, food is the building blocks of health or illness.
Business idea for you to start up.
Yeah, right.
And
If
food
the-
is medicine.
It absolutely is medicine. So coming up in February, we have a women's concert, and that's one of the reasons that Stevie's here, and Angela and Kendra. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So we've been doing the women's concert series for the last 3 years here in Fayetteville. And it's been really interesting in the community. People will ask, well, why are you so focused on women? And why not, right? But there's really very good reasons why we started this project. And a lot of it has to do with, if you look at the statistics for women in music, you're listening to the radio, it was about 17% of the songs on the radio, up until last year, it went up a little bit. About 17% on the average are either written or performed by women. And people are really shocked by that statistic. It did go up a little bit in 2018 to 25%. But you're musicians. What do you think about all that?
Sounds bad.
Yeah.
Sounds bad, yeah.
That's rough.
What are you doing
Sounds
to
like there's-
change it? I'm just kidding.
Sounds like there's some job openings.
Yeah. Well, I know just a few years back, I used to, I would get in my car, I'd turn on the radio, and then one day it hit me, like, on the alternative station in Fayetteville, like, 8 out of 10 of the songs that would come on were male-led songs, and I was like, wait, okay, this seems like a big disparity here.
It is, and it's been going on,
Forever.
It's gotten a little bit better. Like I said, 2018, the statistic went up to 25%. And also at the American Music Awards, they gave out 50% of the awards to women, which was groundbreaking, really. Not the same for the Grammys, but the more we raise awareness and talk about it, I think it does help, and what we do locally impacts on the national stage as well. But it's hard. It's hard as a female musician to move your art forward.
Well, we need more female producers too. And
That
people who are
statistic
aware.
is tiny. I
Yes.
forget exactly. I don't want to speak, but it was somewhere like 5% of producers are women.
I've had one female sound woman on the many tours that we've been on. So
So I think it's a very complicated situation, but the more we keep putting it out there, Bulldozer Health actually produces this series, and health and wellness encompasses so many things. If a woman is in a field like this, working really hard and can't get anywhere, that impacts your health and wellness. So I think we have to just keep talking about it and working at it.
I'm a part of a group called Women of AV, which in my daytime I'm an audiovisual designer. I've been an engineer for sound systems for about 10 years, and throughout my whole history in that, I've really been the only woman that I know that does it. And so I work with a team of great men with great minds and so on. But in order to have who do I reach out to for advice on just some day-to-day activity, there's no one there. And so, but luckily there are a couple groups that are out there, like Women of AV, which is basically 5%, like you said, of women in the industry who do get together at conventions or at trade shows or whatever, in order to support each other and show each other that we are there, and we do need to get the word out there. We need to, to teach and express that it's a fun job, it's a fun activity, but so many young girls are really kind of put off from doing it because it's been a man's world for so long, or it's it's a boys' club, or it's too technical for them to get into, and so we really need to kind of show them that we can take that on too. We're just as capable.
I think that it starts when girls are small and letting them know that they can do anything, whatever field they choose, it's possible. And in the schools, encouraging girls that are interested in those kinds of things, encouraging them in that direction. It's really important. So it's definitely starts there and then carries on from there. And for people, this season for the Women's Concert Series, we decided also to involve women-owned businesses. So we try to use women-owned venues for the shows. And the first show is February 8th here in Fayetteville at Riley's, which is women-owned. And then
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know
That's
that
fantastic.
either. Yes.
Met her recently.
And then,
Wow.
we've all of them this year. Last year we were at 612 Coffee House and Bar, and that's women-owned also. And so all of the shows this year are at women-owned venues, and then they're sponsored by women-owned businesses. With the exception of Spark and Saw, Dylan Davis is awesome and very supportive of everyone, really. And he said, this was a quote from Dylan. He said, "Well, you're the only male-owned business that decided they wanted to sponsor the series," and he said, "Well, I feel like women in this community really bring forward and hold up the music scene, and so this is my giving back." And so I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are other male-owned businesses that might be interested, but the fact that we were able to pull together women-owned venues, performers, and businesses, I think it's pretty remarkable. And I think people can do it wherever you are in the country. If you're listening or watching from another city, it's pretty easy to pull something like this together. Yeah. And if you're in Fayetteville, definitely come to Riley's. On the 8th, it's going to be a fantastic show, and you can get tickets ahead. So we made the tickets ahead $4.20.
On brand.
Yes,
On brand.
always on brand. But at the door they'll be $7. So it's worth it buying them ahead, and a few people have been doing that. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you're going to be playing some music a little later.
A couple songs.
Yeah, I can't wait. You're my favorite rock star. Yeah. Up next, our health guest. Our health guest today is owner and proprietor of Mary Will Nourish, Mary Williams. Mary has a holistic approach to nutrition and searches for root causes before recommending any therapies. She treats each person as a unique bio-individual person. She doesn't offer one-size-fits-all protocols and programs. Her roles are detective, teacher, and coach. Today, we'll be discussing winter blues and seasonal affective disorder. Welcome back to the show, Mary.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, it's great to see you. I think I haven't seen you in a while, which is so unusual.
It's been over a month.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. And your hair grew out and it changed color.
How did that happen?
Oh, no, I didn't recognize you.
So this topic is really important.
It is, because it's a cold, dreary winter day.
It is, right. It's a perfect topic for today, for sure. So what is seasonal affective disorder?
Well, we got to put disorder on everything, right? Or syndrome. And I think some people are more affected than others, but it's the feeling of maybe some situational depression, brain fog, apathy, lack of energy, in the winter where the days are shorter, and especially on days like today where there's no sun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the lack of sunshine contributes definitely to
I
the
think
situation.
it might be the biggest contributor. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. With that being the case, then can someone add in, a sun lamp or something that's not the actual sun, since we don't have any control over that?
Right. Well, I think the most important thing is on days when it's in the 50s, shed some of those clothes and get out there and get, half an hour of sun.
Right.
But yeah, there's lights, box lights that you can get and put in your office.
Oh, cool.
Or in your home, or either go to or make or have an infrared sauna that helps your lymphatic system and is a good way to detox, and it also makes you feel good. And
Wow.
it won't get you the vitamin D
Right.
that the lighting and the sun will.
Right. So let's back up a little bit. We kind of got into the treatments.
Well,
but,
we did.
So what is, you mentioned that the sun is a cause. Are there other causes?
Well, if we look at our lifestyle in the winter, it's a lot different than in the summer. We eat comfort food, which is higher in complex carbs and higher starch carbs. We don't exercise as much. We don't move. So all of those things, contribute to how we feel.
Right.
If the days are longer, if we're out moving more, we've got our bare feet in the ground and we're earthing. If we're exercising more, if we're eating more greens, like we do in the summertime, hopefully, then all those things contribute to more vibrant health, which we just don't do in the winter as much.
Right.
Especially Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Who's going to eat healthy on Super Bowl Sunday? Going to be a bunch
I think
of slugs.
Topher might.
Topher, we're going to.
I know.
I am digging in on those chicken wings, on those cheese poppers.
Would you drink a whole bunch of water first?
Yes.
All right.
Now I only drink water. I don't drink pops and stuff.
Okay, good for you. But we talked last time you weren't drinking enough.
That's right, because I was drinking a lot of coffee.
Yeah. Have you changed your ways?
I have. So we had a guest on, and she brought this chlorophyll stuff. So that makes drinking the water fun because it makes it green. So I've been drinking a lot of water, Mary.
I'm proud of you.
And the chlorophyll's great to clean your blood. And
it heals the stomach too. It's good for stomach healing. Yeah,
Oh,
good for
nice.
indigestion.
I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah, I've got one supplement I've got, actually, you can chew it if you have indigestion, and it's very effective.
Right.
That was way off topic.
I know it was, but I'm glad you're drinking more water,
Yes, I am
green
too.
or otherwise.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Super Bowl Sunday and the comfort foods, which I understand. In the winter, first of all, it's getting dark so early, and we're in the house more, and the tendency to just open the cabinets and eat. is right there.
It's
you know?
awful, yeah, yeah.
And so I think it's important what you keep in the house, because if it's not there, you're probably not going to go out and get it because it's cold out there
Right,
and
yes.
dark, you know.
I think having the right food in the house and meal prepping, you know,
Mm-hmm.
cut up some of those veggies and keep them in the fridge, or prepare some healthy meats ahead of time so
Right.
that you have it available when you're ready to snack.
Right. Yeah, that's a great idea.
I can speak it. I'm not very good at practicing. I try, but I'm not real good at meal prep.
Well, I've been buying those little pickling cucumbers. I have a bag of them in the fridge, and I'm
yeah.
just eating them all the time, replacing products with wheat in it, you know, because I learned recently I'm
Yeah.
allergic to wheat. So, and sprouted bread, which I love. I can't
yeah.
have that
Wait,
either.
can we have a quick thing like about that? Is sprouted bread good or bad? Because I have been on a sprouted bread kick ever since Wendy can't have
Well,
it.
sprouted bread is much healthier than non-sprouted bread.
Okay.
It's really the wheat that you use. Is it an ancient, healthy wheat, or is it a hybridized wheat that may be exposed to glyphosate, pesticides, herbicides? So
Do you know what insert Aldi's growing? Is that good? wheat
I
or
don't.
no?
I don't know. Yeah.
Mary.
Well, Aldi's is not convenient for shopping for me.
Oh, this is true. I went the first time. It's so small.
Yeah, it's nice.
No.
No.
No. It's too small.
You want more? I like the
I
smallness
like
of it
Walmart because
personally.
I can just roam.
Oh yeah, no. See,
No.
I'm a little older. So I want a small store that has everything I
Yeah,
need.
it's a very nice store, but yeah.
Yeah, and they have organic. I'm not sure if their sprouted bread is the real, actual sprouted bread, but I did turn Topher onto that. He wasn't eating any bread, and I was like, "You have to try this." And then I learned within a few days that I can't eat it.
Yes. I've still got a sprouted loaf in my freezer, and I can't eat it.
Oh, you can't eat it either.
No.
Just send it my way.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
So going back to seasonal
Going back,
affective
yeah,
disorder,
we
right?
seem to be getting off
So
topic.
some of the roots of the problem are the lack of sunshine, which contributes to lack of vitamin D.
Vitamin D is really a hormone. It's called a vitamin, but it's really a hormone, and every cell in our body needs vitamin D. It's important to bone health, and it's also important to mental health, which is why, you know, if we don't have enough, we don't feel well. It's also important to gut health, and like we talked about last time, a lot of the majority of our feel-good hormone, which is called serotonin, is made in our gut. If our gut's not healthy, we can't make serotonin. So if we have low vitamin D levels, that can affect the health of our gut and the production of serotonin.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. It's interesting. So Angela was just sitting here, and so that she's here too. I'm still going to talk about her. I wasn't sure if I would, but I notice that when she's not taking vitamin D, I notice a big shift in her mood. It's really apparent. And I'll say to her, "Have you had your vitamin D?" And I don't know if other people notice it. So it's so strong, the difference between not having it and having it.
Interesting. Some people you can tell.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
really don't recommend everybody go out and take vitamin D.
Knowing what your level is important.
Knowing your level is very important. And then you got to have the cofactors with it. I really think in the winter most people need vitamin D, especially darker skinned people, because vitamin D is made when the sunshine hits the cholesterol in your skin.
Oh,
So first of all, we got to have good fats to make cholesterol.
Right.
And we got to have sunshine.
right, okay.
So most people, and so darker skinned people have poor absorption of the sun into their skin, and the older people too. So
So it's more important maybe for someone with darker skin to make sure they find out what their level is and whether...
I think in the winter it's important for everybody to find out what their level is, and then supplement. But you got to supplement with the other cofactors, because just vitamin D by itself is dangerous.
Oh,
Why is it dangerous?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Finish your thing.
tell us why it's dangerous.
Why it's dangerous? Because it works with calcium and magnesium, and if you just take vitamin D and calcium, it helps calcium absorb, but only in your tissues, like your arteries and your soft tissues, and not in your bone and teeth where it belongs. So you've got to take vitamin K2, which most people have no idea about. But it's the K1 is the coagulation vitamin, but vitamin K2 is that miracle vitamin that we all need and most of us don't have, that tells calcium to go to our bones.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was on my list to talk to you about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as a dark-skinned person,
Yes.
can I just eat avocados and just go into a tanning booth, and will I be good in the winter?
That won't get you vitamin D. Avocados don't have vitamin D in them.
Well, no. Well, you said good fats.
Good fats. Okay, to
so
make the
good
cholesterol.
fats,
Yes, yeah.
And then the sun tanning, or the tanning bed, that's like that.
Well, but it's not good sunshine rays.
Okay.
So you really probably need to have vitamin D.
All right.
Yeah. If you can't find a doctor, you can order your own vitamin D levels online.
Oh.
And I can,
And you
guide.
can do that too.
I can order it online. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And it's cheaper than getting it in the doctor's office.
So when you talk about the fat and the light, you still need the D.
You still need the D.
Still need the D.
The fat, the light, and the D.
Yes.
Yes. So those are some of the causes that someone might experience some depression or sadness in the winter. And those are also some of the fixes. Are there other fixes?
Well, water.
Okay.
Because we don't move enough. Our immune system is in our lymphatic system, and our lymphatic system only works well not only when it's healthy and fed well and we have a healthy gut, but when we move. And we don't move enough. We're couch potatoes. So water, movement, eating lighter foods, getting outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the big things.
On the days, especially here in Arkansas, it'll be very cold, and then there'll be a couple of days where it's a little warmer. So making an effort to get outside on those days.
To get outside, take your shoes off, take your whatever else off.
Yeah, whatever you feel like taking
whatever you
off.
feel like taking off, yeah.
And to stand outside naked?
Well, you can lay on a blanket if you want.
Oh, my goodness. I don't
move
know
your
if my
limbs.
neighbors would like that.
Well, put your shorts on. Okay.
I usually, for movement too, I've been doing this myself because I just haven't felt like going to the gym, but I've been trying to move more. So put on some music and just move around the house, dance
Just
around
move.
the house, just
Yeah.
move your body, do
Dancing
some range
is
of
one-
motion, move your arms, move your legs.
Dancing's better than going to the gym for lymphatics, just movement,
Right.
Yoga, Qigong, Tai Chi, those things are all good for movement.
Yeah, Tai Chi. I used to do Tai Chi. I found the person who was instructing it was very strict, and I don't do well in those situations. And so I was trying, I felt really scared to move the wrong way. So I'd probably try that again sometime.
That's what I've heard about that. It's
very precise.
But Qigong is very free-moving form of Tai Chi.
Yeah.
Maria teaches that.
She does,
Yes,
yeah. Maria
yeah.
Chowdhury's been on the show many times.
Yes. I take her class.
Oh,
So,
great. Yeah, that might be something to think about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so moving the body, vitamin D, good fat, these are all things people can do if they're starting to feel a little down.
Yes, and it's, when you feel down, you don't have the energy to do those things. So, anticipate and prep yourself so that you can avoid it maybe. Yeah.
Right, if you know this season's coming up where it's getting dark early and it's cold.
And some people know that they're more effective than others. So, be proactive.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a friend who purchased one of those small light boxes. Do you feel like they're pretty effective?
I don't really have an opinion on them. I just know they're an alternative when we don't have sunshine. And a lot of people in the Northwest where they don't have much sunshine use them. So I would assume they are, but I haven't seen the data on them.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I don't know about the tanning beds. It doesn't seem like that really gives you light.
I was reading last week that it's not the same, and that I would like to think it is because I'd enjoy going laying in a tanning bed, but
Right.
I don't think it is.
It's not quite the same.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
I've got some seminars coming up that I'd like people to participate in. I'm talking this Saturday about leaky gut. Yeah, leaky
an
gut
important topic, too.
being the
Where does it leak into?
well, why don't you come listen to my talk on Saturday? It actually the cells, the tissue in the intestines open up and allow larger particles into your bloodstream that shouldn't be there, and it sets up an immune response. So then you become, quote unquote, allergic or sensitive to something, and wheat is the biggest culprit. Yeah, so, but you can heal it. But you got to quit eating the gluten first, and then you do the gut healing and eat, probiotics, prebiotics, and do some gut healing. So
That's a wide topic.
it's a
and
wide
really
topic.
important.
I think most of us, there's a doctor called Amy Myers, and in her book, I think it was her, I hope so, she talks about all of us being somewhere on the autoimmune spectrum, or because it starts with little things and with all the toxins in our world. And that's another thing that affects us more in the winter.
Right.
All the toxins in
you're
our
indoors
world.
more.
Because you're indoors more, so.
Yeah, well, you have some great topics. I took a look today at your list. And are they filmed so people out of the area can watch them, or?
Well, I'm starting to work on getting them online.
Okay,
So,
great.
yeah.
Wonderful. So, so where can people find information about the classes and about you?
I do have the classes on my website, marywillnourish.com, and there's a link there. Also, they're all on Eventbrite, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Mary Will Nourish.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
I know. Is this number 4 or number 5?
It's either 3 or 4.
3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have you back again
Thank
later.
you. Enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Up next, the Green Zone. In the Green Zone today, our guest is Kyndal Saverse, and a discussion of cacao. Kyndal started off in environmental work, campaigning for clean water, healthy alternatives, and natural energy. And then she fell in love with the garden when she worked at Tricycle Farms in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Her interests for good food and intentional movement have come together, as now she shares a special ceremony of cacao and dance. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm great, yeah.
Good. So we're going to talk about cacao. This is the Green Zone, and we usually talk about plant medicine.
Ah, okay.
So the first thing we wanted to know, Topher and I were talking about cocoa versus cacao.
Yeah.
And so I wondered if you could explain that for us.
So cacao, there's a long process before it becomes just the raw chocolate. And just commercial reasons, and also for convenience of storing, it's been separated into powder. And then a lot of the fats and stuff are used for cosmetics. So there's just a lot of industry with that. But really the purest, best form is just when you don't separate the fats from the powder and you keep it all together. But if you look on the back of like a chocolate bar, you'll see that a lot of times they separate it and then they combine it back together.
Oh.
I don't know why they do that, but I just noticed that.
Right.
Yeah.
So cacao, this morning I was saying cacao, right? He was
Just yelling. And,
I was just yelling it. I'm like, Topher, today we're talking about cacao.
yeah, I thought she was trying to like signal some bird. I was like, what are we doing today?
So it's kind of is it a bean or a seed or?
It comes from a fruit pod, and they're just little pods, and they don't taste anything like you have to ferment them and dry them out and do the whole process before they smell anything like chocolate. I did try one of the pods, and it's
not tasty?
it has no taste.
Oh, it
it's
has
weird,
no
yeah.
taste. Oh, I thought it might be a little bitter, maybe, but
It is bitter, and it's got like this jelly outside that has no taste though.
But that's what they use like to make cocoa butter and that kind of stuff from the actual cacao. Is that right? I think I read something about that.
Well, so you have the pod. It comes off of a tree, in mainly Central America, some parts of Mexico, some parts of South America, and when you open it, you have all the pods inside, and they let that ferment for like weeks.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, it goes through, I think it's like roasted, and from then you have like cacao beans.
Okay.
They call it beans, and then you can take the shell off.
Okay.
And you can actually eat those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And are those
They're really
tasty?
like
Those taste, if you like 100% chocolate,
Without the
it's
sweet
very
part.
bitter,
Yeah.
no sweet, but gives you a lot of energy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to eat them for breakfast. I lived in Nicaragua for a while.
We
And
were
that's,
talking
yeah.
about that when we connected online, because I
yeah.
spent a little time in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Also, I loved it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and the people are also beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is cacao grown in Nicaragua?
It is grown in Nicaragua. Yeah, there's actually a lot of cacao farms. And Guatemala is known for having the best chocolate in the world.
Oh.
And it's a neighbor. Yeah, there's a lot of farms. There's more farms than people are able to buy.
Right.
Yeah.
So you would eat these for breakfast to improve your energy?
Well, I just love chocolate. And then I just like, it would be not good after, I mean, because I would have no appetite and then, but I just have so much energy.
Wow.
So is
yeah.
the cacao plant closely related to like the coffee bean, or?
It's related. I mean, they're both come from fruits and from a tree in generally the same places, but and they both have a little bit of caffeine. But I would say they're related in that sense, but they're still very different.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Similar family, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
They're both
well, one's
brown,
on a
closer.
bush, one's on a tree.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they're completely different. We don't really know.
Yeah. They would think they're pretty similar, but the coffee comes from a cherry.
Right.
So
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit different. Well, I know that cacao also has a high amount of cannabinoids in it. And so if someone is using cannabis and maybe they've got too much of a head high, eating some cacao will actually bring it down.
Really?
It's one of the foods that's high in cannabinoids, like black pepper.
Yeah.
What is cannabinoids?
Cannabinoids are the parts of the cannabis plant that are healing, the elements of it that are healing.
Okay.
Like THC, CBD,
Gotcha.
CBG.
Those are.
But cacao also has cannabinoids. I guess you weren't aware of that, so I'm glad.
No,
It's
I
good to
didn't know
share.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to share that information.
Yeah.
So tell me about the cacao ceremony that you do.
So, one thing I love about chocolate is that, well, it's very healing. I think it brings you into like a place of vulnerability, and I think that's why it's very much associated with Valentine's and like being able to be open and emotional. So these ceremonies, you connect with the plant, and from that vulnerable place, we'll connect with each other, and we'll go through a list of just like really fun questions, just to get to know yourself better and your goals, and then we do a dance. So
So you share in the cacao together, or?
yeah, like I'll just put it in cups and everyone will drink it together at the
Oh,
same time,
nice.
and throughout the questions, they'll finish the drink and then we'll move into.
So does
what
that?
ki-
the-
go ahead.
no, sorry. Yeah, I just wondered. So that kind of puts them in a space of sharing. Is that the idea?
Yeah, to just being with the questions that I give. Like the last question I always ask is, how do you want to be loved? And so you share with another person, how do you want to be loved? And
That's a vulnerable
it's a
question.
a great question.
It is a great question. I wish people would ask that of each other when they start a relationship. It's such an important question, really.
But when in the dating process would you ask that? Not the first date. That would scare somebody off. Like, how do you want to be loved?
Yeah.
Not by you. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that also reminded me of when you started talking about the ceremony and the questions. Have you seen Grace and Frankie?
Grace and Frankie. I
Yeah,
haven't
it's a
seen
Netflix
it.
show. Because I
I've heard
think
of
they
it.
do a cacao ceremony
Yeah.
in one of the episodes. And so, okay, now that's bringing it back into like context. Okay, so what other types of questions do you ask?
Yeah. I'm interested on this episode. I want to watch it. Other questions are, I change the questions every time because
Oh,
I
you
get
do? Okay.
kind of bored. But the one I did most recently, and I've done a couple times, it's like a wellness wheel. So you have like intellectual, spiritual, what are some other physical, like work, and you rate all of those in your life, and then you get with a partner, and the question is, what would be, or how's it go? What would your life look like if all of these were a 10? And so you're kind of like, it's more of like an envisioning practice.
What would your life look like if all of these were
A 10.
a 10? Okay.
Yeah, so you rate them.
Spiritually, physically, emotionally. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's another question.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Bear with
Did
me.
that make you tear up a little bit?
I just love chocolate.
I feel that, yes.
Yeah, well, chocolate, it is really uplifting. When you were talking about it, I was thinking, yeah, people want that when they go to eat it, it makes people happy. I don't really like the sugar content because sugar's
Right.
so
Yeah.
not so good for you, but
How far from white chocolate is like cacao? Like
You know,
how?
I don't know anything about white chocolate.
Okay, never
Yeah.
mind.
is that even
I don't
really
know how
chocolate?
they.
I don't know
make-
if that.
You
I
know what
don't-
I think they do is they take all the cacao powder out, because then it leaves like cacao butter.
Oh.
So
oh.
Yeah.
It's just the
fats.
white chocolate is just the fat. Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that a good fat, Mary, for me?
It's a
The
great
chocolate
fat.
fats?
In moderation.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to hear.
I always wondered about white chocolate because when I was younger,
Right.
I loved it.
It's
Yeah.
my favorite.
But you have
Yeah.
all the good parts out. I mean, they're both good, but it's like it's not even chocolate anymore.
You're just like, ooh, this is fancy
Right.
chocolate.
Right,
True.
right. It must be fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
So pure cacao is at the other end of the white chocolate.
That's that
really.
peasant
Well,
chocolate.
it's just not been separated. So it's just in its,
In
know,
its true form.
In its true form. And I think that, well, it's really good fat. And then you have like I think it's called theobromine, which gives you the emotional.
Okay. So
feeling.
there's actually something in there that gives you that emotional
Yeah.
feeling. And cacao has magnesium, which
Which
is
is
really good for you.
really good for you,
I learned that
yes.
from Mary.
Yes.
Yeah, magnesium's really important.
Yes.
So you ask these questions, and the people who are part of the ceremony answer the questions, and then you dance together. And is it a specific kind of dance?
I do a dance called 5 rhythms, and mainly you dance however you'd like, and I offer blindfolds because I understand that. I mean, I even like to do a blindfold, even though I'm not very modest, but it's nice to just have my eyes closed. So that's offered for anyone that feels uncomfortable.
So they're wearing a blindfold and moving around, but then you can't see where you're moving, right?
Yeah.
I think I might end up on the floor in
Yeah.
that situation.
Well, you can peek or take
Okay,
it
yeah,
off. I
alright.
mean, there's it's kind of no rules. I'm just trying to get as many people as
Sure.
most comfortable.
And some people
with
may be more
dancing.
comfortable
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
right? And not be worried about falling,
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just want to move.
Well, some
and not
people
have
might
to
know
worry.
they're not going to move very much.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
there are some people that flail around. And
Yeah.
That's great too.
Yeah, yeah, you get to see people's energy and how they want to move their body. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Do you feel like the questions stimulate more movement or different movements?
I think the questions, what I like about presenting the questions and getting people to kind of feel for where they want to be or how they want to feel, you get to dance with that. So I try to encourage you to bring that best version self of you to the dance.
Right, nice.
And then, so I think it just brings it a little bit more character.
So what is the goal of this session? It may be different for everyone, but if someone sees, there's a cacao ceremony in this place, what would the goal be? What would make them want to do that, I guess?
I think maybe just trying something new. I think dance has a lot to offer, and then the chocolate I bring is from Guatemala and from Nicaragua, so it's a brick form, and so it's very pure, and it has a lot of the good benefits in it. I think I try to create a space where people, just like any movement, they feel good in their bodies, but just letting, the way I'm backtracking a lot, the way the dance is set up through 5 rhythms is you go through these different rhythms, and with the peak being chaos, so you're really allowed to move with yourself and then get comfortable with yourself and then kind of like break open your shell. And then we end in Shavasana and close the ceremony together.
Nice. Yeah, it's really an experience, you know, that's uplifting and kind of self-examining.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I think dance is just something that we don't how I feel about it is like I have to go out and drink anytime I want to like have a dance experience. There's not a lot of places to be sober and like just have fun moving your body.
Right.
Yeah.
I think people may do that because they're afraid to move, but their inhibitions are lowered if they have something to drink. But this is a little different.
I get it.
You know? Yeah.
Right.
This is a little different because it's an experience where the chocolate uplifts you and you're examining yourself and then moving.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It's been really fun teaching, and I love holding the space because I get to dance too.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
So, so you do this in Fayetteville, Arkansas here, and how can people get in touch with you?
Probably through my Instagram. I tend to share because I'll bounce around at different studios sharing the ceremony. So I'll mark it through my own Instagram, which is
what's the Instagram?
It's Kyntin, Kyntin.
Okay, at Kyntin.
At Kyntin.
Great.
Really short.
And I imagine these ceremonies people could find anywhere in the country.
It's growing.
Yeah. So they would Google cacao dance ceremonies, or
well, not a lot of people do the dancing with it.
Okay.
I just like to add that in there.
Yeah, I love that. So cacao ceremonies and
just
should be able.
Everyone
to
does it different.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Up next, our musical guest.
And now for our musical segment. Angela Edge has been creating music most of her life. Her eccentric musical journey started when her father put a bass in her hands at the age of 14, and she created her own bass method. Later, she added trumpet and attended the University of Arkansas for instrument. Over the years, she added and became a brilliant lyricist, noted by musicians and press alike, locally and nationally. She has performed nationally and internationally at festivals, pride events, venues, and private events. We are very fortunate to have her here today. Please give it up for Angela Edge and her percussionist, Kendra Kirklin.
Did you ever know I was in love with you? Did you ever care? And all of us fail comparison. All of us fail. All of us fail. Dancing slow to a sad tune. The lights are down low, and all of us fail comparison. All of us fail. All of us fail. this fair, all of this fair. Well, and some slow to a side to one, yeah. All of this fair, all of this fair. Well, and some slow to a side to one, yeah. All of this fair, all of this fair. Bourbon on the rocks, please. Bourbon on the rocks, please. Well, and some slow to a side to a horn, yeah. All of this fail, all of this fail. One more for the road. The night is dark, 'cause that's what night does. It gets dark till the monster sleeps. The morning comes, the morning comes. You're looking through a one-way mirror. It's a godlike tendency, and it's a tool of judgment. So let the monster sleep. What awaits for me, further than my eyes can see. For the veil is filthy, the light it fades, rustling the fields, biding time, and this restless mind. No comfort and meaning, no comfort today. Go to sleep, monster, sleep. Go to sleep, monster, sleep. Go to sleep, monster, sleep. Go to sleep. What waits for me, farther than my eyes can see. For the veil is filthy, the light it fades. And who do you trust when your monster's your own blood? The veil is filthy, the light it fades. So let the monster sleep.
What a great show.
Yes, thank you for having me, guest co-host.
I
This
know,
was
your
fun.
first appearance, Kitty. Isn't
Yes.
it your first appearance?
This is my first appearance.
Yes.
Hopefully I'll be able to come back whenever you want me to come back.
Absolutely. I love your Girl Scout uniform.
Yeah, well, you know, I just wanted to, show like all of my support and all my badges. You know, we have the Idol class.
The Idol class,
We have
yes.
Frank and Beans. That's an oldie but a goodie.
yes, right.
I think Betty White and Ruth and Rue McClanahan.
Oh, nice.
And of course my
Of
cannabis.
course, your cannabis pin. Oh,
Yeah.
If only the Girl Scout sash actually had those kind of badges.
I know. It'd be a much
I love it.
attendance would be up.
Yes. Well, we wouldn't be here without our sponsors, and
Exactly.
they are
Purely Natural CBD,
Caris Healthcare,
Lit Smoking Supplies,
Mary Will Nourish,
CBD American Shaman Kava Bar and Yoga,
Highlands Residential Mortgage, #Lindsay the Lender.
NWA Natural Living.
Thanks so much also to Cheers at the OPO for providing nourishment to our guests, cast, and crew today. It was delicious.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And thank you, as always, to Hair Extensions by Miss J for our hair and makeup today.
You look fabulous. You look absolutely fabulous, Kitty.
Yes. Thank you, Miss J.
Well, he's been Kitty.
And she's been Wendy.
We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Wendy, Topher, lots of love. Last show